All right, in order to support our show, we'll need the help of some great advertisers. Thought we had advertisers. I don't know what's going on over there at loudspeakers, man. Let's find us some ads, man. In order to find great advertisers, we'll need to learn a little bit more about you. So please go to pawsurvey.com/pill and take a quick anonymous survey that will help us get to know you just a little bit better. That way, we can show advertisers just how great our listeners are. And, maybe do something great for you guys, like give you a $100 Amazon gift card once you've completed the survey. Terms and conditions do apply. Now, I should say you can choose to enter for a chance at that $100 Amazon gift card. We'll just give it to you because then all of you guys would do a survey. That would be fantastic. But no, you can choose to enter for a chance to win the survey after you do it. Again, that's podsurvey.com/PILL. That's podsurvey.com/PILL. Thanks for your help. Today's episode of The Red Pill is sponsored by, we do have ads, HBO Films' new movie, OG. OG stars Jeffrey Wright, one of the finest actors working today, as Lewis, who is in the final weeks of his 24-year sentence in a maximum security prison. He got 24 years, man. This dude is a G. OG takes an intimate and unflinching look at the journey of one man at the precipice of freedom. After nearly a quarter century behind bars, he must confront the impact of his actions and the challenges of re-entering society. Groundbreaking, it was filmed on location at Pendleton Correctional Facility in Indiana, and its cast includes several of the men incarcerated there. This joint was filmed at one of these facilities, man. That's true authenticity right there for story. A lot of risk being taken there. The film premiered at the 2018 Tribeca Film Festival, where Wright won the award for Best Actor in a U.S. Narrative Feature Film. Like I told you, Jeffrey Wright's a bad boy. Shout out to Biggs, friend of the podcast, one of the names attached to this project. It's going to be fantastic. Be sure to tune in to OG. It's streaming right now. I'm going to give you my full review on this next week. Haven't had a chance to pick it out, to check it out yet. But when I do, I'm going to tell you guys all about it. Today's episode of the Red Pill Podcast is brought to you by Deezus and Mero, the all-new weekly late-night talk show now on Showtime. My boys, the Bronx's own Deezus Nice and the Kid Mero bring their illustrious take on current events, politics, sports, and pop culture, and they funny as hell. They've been doing this for so long. They deserve it so much. They're about to take over late night. All while talking spicy with the week's hottest celebrity guests. A new episode of Deezus and Mero drops every Thursday at 11 p.m. only on Showtime. And now, for Deezus and Mero fans, which I am one, you can stream Showtime for only $4.99 a month for 6 months after a 30-day free trial. That's $5 a month, and you get your Deezus and Mero. That's a steal. Secure the deal and support the brand. Go to showtime.com/hive. Offer available for new subscribers only. Expires March 14th. The show is phenomenal. Go out there and support these brothers. Not because culture demands it, because they deserve it. Now let's get into the Red Pill. Welcome to Van Lathan's The Red Pill, where we give you the brutal reality of truth. Today we have one of my favorite singers, favorite people, Estelle. You know her. She's not from these parts. She's from over in London town. All right, she made it big years ago. Single American boy. She exploded on, as they say, she exploded onto the scene, and she's built a fantastic career for herself ever since. I'm interested in talking to a music vet that is a black woman about certain issues, that they face being in the music game. Working with male counterparts, how you stand out from the crowd, doing what you have to do as a black woman. Me and Estelle talk about it all. We talk about her relationship with Kanye West. If you remember the joint American Boy, Ye was very prominently featured. They were all over the place. Grammy, they won for that. Would she work with Kanye now in light of some of the recent things that he's done and said? Very interesting answer she gives to that. Also, male groupies, man. I want to know if you're a female singer and you coming up, like, what's the male groupie situation like? Do the male groupies, do they come at you? And what are they like? Something. I don't feel like the male groupie gets the real credit that they deserve. Also, where is Craig David, man? She's from London. I was a fan of Craig David, the whole two-step deal, and we haven't seen Craig David, man. What's up with that? She answers a lot of questions about her musical influences, what things were like being a big deal in London, trying to break in America, what she feels about the situation socially over here in America, being that she is not from here. Very enlightening. Always great conversation with a fantastically talented sister, Estelle. So pop some pills. Let's get into that. Now, typically when we start the show, we talk about a little something that's going on. I want to talk to people about something that's personally going on with me, and that's the fact that I'm not rich. Okay, it's very important that people know this. I am not rich. Okay, I do very well for myself. I'm not broke, but I'm not rich. And let me tell you why that's important to say. Not broke means I don't have to worry about money. If I want to buy something, the things that I would like to buy, I can buy them. Not rich means I can't buy stuff for you. That's very important. Not broke means buy whatever I want for myself. Not rich means I can't get you anything. So, with that being said, stop asking me for money. I know that you see me on the TV and you see that, viral moment went all over the place. And I tell you, if I'd have gotten like $1 for every time that got played, I would be rich. But guess what I didn't get every time that got played? Any money. So I'm here working on a very nice salary, doing other things to break it up, but I ain't got it. And I want my family and friends to rehearse this phrase in their heads. I ain't got it. Now, it's February, like the end of February right now. I'm shaking back from a particularly brutal holiday season where I shelled out a bunch of cash. Everybody got that piece of cash. Don't ask me for nothing else. I am generous, and you will know that I have it when you have it. But for right now, my name is not even Van. This is not Van Lathan's The Red Pill anymore. That's not the name of this podcast. The name of this podcast is I Ain't Got It's The Red Pill. Because that's my name. My name is I Ain't Got It. Here's the thing. You thought that I had it, and that's okay. People are free to think that a person might have it. But I want to tell you something, just a quick reality. I ain't got it. And that's something that I want you guys to stay dedicated to. That notion, as a matter of fact, change my name in your phone. I don't want to be known as Van in your phone. I want you to change your name, my name in your phone to I Ain't Got It. So when I call you or when you call me, the most important aspect of my life is reiterated to you. And that aspect, that single notion about me at this particular point in my life is I don't fucking have it. And if I do have it, it's not for you. Okay? I would love to be able to do things that denote that I have it. For example, not to, knows who he is. You call me and you ask me for $3,000 for some football jerseys for some kids to play football. First of all, why in the fuck would that be $3,000? Like, why would it cost $3,000? What they don't need, whatever the $3,000 jerseys are, they don't need those. Like, we didn't have those. We didn't have nothing like that. So, but for you to call me up and just ask me straight up for $3,000, it's not gonna kill me, but I ain't got it. I don't know these little dudes. Yo, and what happened to selling chocolate? Like, what is that not a thing anymore? Like, do people not sell the chocolate for the jerseys that they need and stuff like that? They better sell some chocolate, man. World's finest chocolate. How about this? I'll buy some chocolate. I buy a couple of packs of chocolate, and then I'll enjoy them on a cheat day. But as far as giving $3,000, and this, by the way, this is not like the homie. This is just like a dude I went to high school with. You know what I'm saying? It's like, he's my homie, especially in 97. 2019, it's been some time. So maybe you could check on my parents and them before you ask me for $3,000 for your football team, because I'm going to be real with you. I don't know if your football team was the reason why you were asking for this money. You might have been asking for this money to put this money on the street. Who knows? You know what? Maybe that's not true. I shouldn't say that. Maybe it was for the football team. But one thing I do know is that I ain't got it. Why can't I live? Why I got to always send it back to y'all? Can I live? Can I get a hot dog? Can I go to a nice ball game? I haven't seen the Lakers yet this season. Can I do my thing? Eventually, one day I'm going to have it, and we're all going to have it together. But I don't have it right now. So in 10 months, it's going to be Christmas time. Holiday season's coming again. Okay. I want you to replace the names of all of the Christmas songs that you love. Okay. Jingle Bells. No, I ain't got it. That's the name of that song. 12 Days of Christmas. Nope. 12 Days of Van Doesn't Fucking Have It. Start saving now. Start saving now for the holiday season. Put $50 a month aside for the holiday season. Start it now. I don't know if you need to get, what do you get? You get Zelle. What are some of these things? Mint is a good budgeting system out there called Mint. Save it now. If you got your it's tax season. So put some of that away. Because you know what's not going to happen in December? Me having it. Because in December, it's going to be just like February. And in February, right now, I ain't got it. Okay. So we're going to get into this podcast real quick. But I ain't got it. All right. Let's do it. Estelle does have it. She won a Grammy. As a matter of fact, if you need some money, ask Estelle. Peace, let's get to Estelle. Me and Estelle were just talking about the cold.
I don't like this.
You don't like you think it's too cold in LA right now?
It's too cold in general. It's too.
Well, it is February.
It's true.
Actually,
but
it's January. Why am I skipping ahead? It's actually January.
Look, it's the longest January ever again.
It is. Why does that happen? Why is January so long?
Because of what's happening in the world, I think.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's a long time.
It is, man.
The days are long.
I'll be honest with you. When you say what's happening in the world,
yeah,
I'm starting to, for the first time, listen, and I don't want people to become disheartened. Because y'all know me.
Yep.
I'm with us every single step of the way. I'm as much energy as it takes. I'm down with it. But for the first time, I am starting to get a little fatigued with all of the terrible shit that's happening, with being wound up.
It's every minute.
Every minute, man.
Every minute. Like, you have to switch off.
You have to.
You have to.
How does Estelle switch off?
I literally switch off. Like,
you just turn it off?
Yeah, I'm not a big TV girl. Like, I watch my shows.
Mm-hmm.
I literally just watch my shows and then nothing else. Like, I turn my phone off when I'm ready. If I'm on the gram, I'm on it because of work majority of the time. But also, I do have days when I just scroll. Mm-hmm. And I keep up and I kind of keep a mental backlog. Yeah. But then I meditate, I'm crystals, I'm incense, I'm all of that too.
You get metaphysical with it.
I do.
How long have you been doing that?
3-4 years.
So there was a time when you weren't metaphysical. And then you got metaphysical. Mm-hmm. What got you into the metaphysical space?
Well, it was kind of creeping up on me. I had a friend who would like call me and just check on me and make sure I was all right. Mm-hmm. When I'll be out on the road and living and doing stuff. And then she would call me every month and like read me my star sign and whatnot, like what was going on in my life. And I'd be like, yeah, I always kept my star sign. But then after that, I had a couple other friends who started to really like get into crystals and like chill out and relax. Mm-hmm. And they were just so peaceful. Like things would be happening and their whole lives were just so like.
Don't you just love those people in your life? You're all wound up and they're so serene. You're like, oh my God, what am I doing? They're like, man, it's going to be okay, dog. Chill.
Okay. And it always was okay. You know? So I was like, there's something to what they talking about.
So are you that person for other people now?
Sometimes.
Are you the person that like, if I'm freaking out, I'm like, yo, man, they fucking over us. I can call you and be like, yo.
This is the positive side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or look what happened to you today.
And you'll be that.
Yeah.
We need that, man. We need that person not just in like in our personal lives. We need that person in the culture.
We need that person in the White
So bad in the
so
culture,
tired.
man.
And there's so many. There are people who do. Sorry, my headscarf's having a time.
Mm-hmm.
They're out there. I feel like they're just scared, or they're trying to master it, per se. I wouldn't say that they're scared even more than they just don't know that that's what their use is, or that's what their value is to the culture. Sometimes it's just to be the peace, and just to be the person that maybe sees a better perspective,
Right.
you know, or a more balanced perspective in the whole thing.
Right.
And because you see a lot of people that do have balanced perspectives getting shut down the minute they say something.
They try to come out. I think that's what Erykah Badu was trying to do.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's maybe not the right. Listen, I'm not gonna tell her what was the right thing.
Right. It was an interesting.
It was
take.
like, I think for me personally, I don't want to say anything that could be misconstrued.
Right.
Like,
I think people had to see the clip too.
They had to see the clip. I think people were so taken aback. First of all, with Erykah Badu, so if you guys don't know what we're talking about, Erykah Badu was on stage in Chicago, and she said some things that a lot of people thought were sort of supporting R. Kelly.
Which is not ever the plan.
Well, you can't ever support R. Kelly.
I think she took the message of love from listening to it and watching it all around. She was saying a message of love, but she just pinned it to the person that everyone hates right now.
Yeah.
And I mean, sometimes that's what's needed to cause a conversation, but I can't support.
Yeah. I mean,
personally, I'm finding it hard to, and I'm super, I understand your place.
Yeah.
But that guy, it's going to take a minute.
So, here's the thing. That's the point. The point is this. Love takes time. Like, if someone perpetrates an unspeakable tragedy onto my family, maybe in time I can learn to come to terms with that or cope with it or perhaps even forgive that person and care about what's going on with them. But if you come to me a week or 2 weeks or a day after it happens, don't nobody want to hear that shit.
Nobody want to hear it.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it. I mean, I think, the situation, I get the place in the ecosystem she's trying to have, but right now, maybe that's a little bit too explosive to try to get people wrapped around that.
It's a difficult position to take. It's brave.
It is brave.
It's brave, though.
Yeah, she's Erykah Badu. She's 24 karat gold in the culture anyway. So you're from London.
I am. From West London.
West London.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, I'm from Louisiana. So
my favorite. Well, I say New Orleans. Hold on.
You love New Orleans.
I do.
So a lot of people listening to this podcast don't know what it's like in West London. Tell us about your story. Tell us about growing up in West London.
It's like now it's same country, same-ish, different cuss.
Yeah.
Okay, same shit, different country. It's different currency.
Yeah.
It's the same shit. Only it's a different accent. It's a slightly different way of being. It's more social than racial. Racial kind of takes a back seat to the social stuff, where here race takes more of a front seat to the social stuff.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing.
When you say social versus racial, like what do you mean?
So if you're all social, as in like if you're all poor, you all live in a hood, no matter what color you are. That's what it is. And no one really kind of differentiates between black, white, poor. Right. They're just like, you're all poor.
Right.
Right. And if you're rich, you're rich. And you get treated as, upstairs, downstairs came from the UK. Like from a show in the UK. It's literally that. Downton Abbey, that was true. Race aside, the rich white people, poor white people.
Right.
And it is what it was type thing. And so it was a little bit, it was like that. And then there was this middle subculture of people that came over in the 50s and 60s, which were black people, because colonization and stuff, which my parents and my grandparents were a part of.
Came from Senegal?
From Senegal and from Grenada.
Oh, Grenada.
Greens.
Shout out to Seals, man. Amanda Seals, my
Shout
girl.
Out to the homie.
I visited Grenada like last year.
You did? How did you like it?
It was cool.
You had fun?
I'll tell you one thing about Grenada.
Oh, Lord.
They don't really give a fuck in Grenada.
They don't.
And when I tell you about this, is like we were in the house and it was raining. Me, Charmaine, we were all there, and we go to the thing in Grenada, and the Grenadians are very no nonsense. I remember I went to a KFC in Grenada, right?
Oh God.
I went to a KFC and
Lord.
I was like, she was like, "What do you want?" I was like, "Damn."
No, what do you want?
She's like, "What do you want?" And I was like, "Okay." I was like, "I want a number 2. We don't have that." I was like, "All right. Well, can I get a number 3? We don't have that. We only have the number 4." And I was like,
The correct response would have been, "What do you have?"
Yeah.
What do you have?
I was like, I guess I want the number 4 then. Okay.
Right.
I'm giving her the money. I'm like, ma'am, have I done something to upset you?
Just works in KFC?
No. It's like, I work at didn't care. Boom. But and wherever we went, not saying these people weren't lovely.
Mm-mm.
They just
To the point.
To the point.
Yep.
Like, to the point.
And I had to learn to not be offended. My grandma on my stepdad's side, she was the most blunt, to the point. Man, you think she giving you a cuddle? She cussing you out about something that you had on. You like, wait, why do I have to be that? Why is my head that big? Why? Like she'd be cussing you out in the same way she hugging you.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, oh, well, I guess, you know. Like,
I loved it though. Like, I loved it. I loved we rode on the ATVs to like the Spice Forest or whatever like that. They were telling us about all the different spices and stuff like that. It was dope. So when your parents got here, there in London, the process of assimilation and stuff like that, was there like a culture there waiting there to accept them?
Well, there was like about, when my mom got there in like the 60s, late 60s, she was like, like early 70s, she was like 12. When she landed.
Oh, okay. So she was kind of a kid.
She was a kid, but like super African. And my grandma had been there for like 5 years at that point.
Super African.
Super African.
Okay.
I say super African as in like you wouldn't know it's the difference in culture other than it was cold.
Right.
So there was already like little subcultures there, right? My dad, from what he tells me, like he had a huge family, so they were dripping them out.
Yeah.
Essentially, all the kids were kind of dripping out, kind of thing. But they built their own culture from like the community halls and whatnot. So carnival was what it was. Which is like the Labor Day parade on crack.
Okay.
Like all those things were already kind of instituted. And African culture is quite insular. So, you're going to Auntie something's house for the christening, and that christening is turned into an all-nighter.
Yeah.
And, so like all those cultural things were already what they were. So it wasn't too far off, other than it was just cold. So like I didn't grow up with my real dad. It's part of my album story. But like I didn't grow up with him. But I just knew from like age 5, I was peeling onions, I was learning how to cook African food. We spoke Creole, that's, Sierra Leonean Creole. It's like, that's what we do, that's home. But you go to school and it's like, Miss whatever, and we proper, and then you go home and you're like,
the whole 2 worlds thing, the switching on and switching
codes,
off.
Completely code switching. And that's my life, that's what it is. So, and then my mom, she was trying to make sure that we understood that we were half West Indian, it's a different culture. So she taught us how to make all of the West Indian food, and she bring us around the cousins and whatnot, and so we learned all the different cultures. So it was, I still say it's different. It's the same thing, but it's a different currency,
So you've been in America for a while now.
Like 12 years now.
12 years.
Well, I say 10 or 12, 11. I don't know.
10 years, 12 years.
Round it up.
So now that you're here, what differences do you see in the cultural experiences of Black Americans as they sort of compare to British Black people?
It's doing this.
It's becoming homogenous.
It's doing this the same thing now. Well, so when I first came out, so I was 26. I had a career in the UK already. I'm doing my thing. I come out and I got like my box of shoes are extensive and fully designer. Okay. And I'm like 25 and 26, right? Okay. And my fashion is just doing what it does. People are looking at me like, who does she think she is? How's she that young with all them shoes? Who's she fucking? Da, 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 da. And I'm here like, nah, well, I bought these with my own money. Right. I just like good shit. This is all I own. Fuck you, mate. But like, as I've seen it, as it's moved around now, it's kind of like everybody's on the same fashion wave. Everyone gets and understands, like just the international side of it. Yeah, the internet. Shout out to the internet. Yeah, like, I love it.
My dad told me something. My dad was like, yo, you know what the one thing that you guys are missing out on? I was like, no, Dad, but I'm sure you're going to tell me. He said, when I would go up to visit, like, my cousins in California, my dad's from Maryland, Louisiana, he was like, they talk different, they dress different. Everything that they said was completely different. It was something completely different. And I thought, man, these cats is cool. And then when they heard from me, they'd be like, oh, man, this cat kind of got this whole country thing, and it was cool. He was like, now, I come out to L.A. to see you. The kids out here look exactly the way the kids in Baton Rouge do.
No different.
And the kids in Baton Rouge look exactly the way the kids in Miami do when I'm visiting. And so it's like, the internet is a great thing, but it does homogenize things to a degree.
It's a little like, and I don't want to. I mean, I'll say it's only like flipped like this in the last 10 years. I don't sound like I'm super old or nothing because I'm not. But like, it literally has been like a, what's the word? It's like it's kind of squashed. You know, like it just kind of condensed itself really quickly in the past 10 years. It just went.
Yep.
You know, and that's a little weird.
As a creative, does that make things a little bit difficult for you? Because whereas an expression of individuality was something that was celebrated, right? Yeah. When American Boy first came out, I was like, oh shit,
the only record.
I was like, oh shit, that shit a little different. What's up with that?
Good, yeah.
Oh, okay. Right. Oh, that's different.
Got two.
But yeah, but
like
now
1,000.
Not only do they sound the same, they ad-libs are the same. By the way, this is not me hating on current music.
Just
this
the way
is just
things
saying,
are now, yeah.
The waves seem to kind of come a little bit different. Does that make it harder for you? Does it take more bravery to try to stand out?
It does take more bravery. Like, I feel like I'm genetically predisposed to kind of like hear what's going on and do the exact opposite. Like, this is kind of like a practice in the back of my, like, we did American Boy, for instance. The whole team were like, what the fuck is this?
Were they?
No, they were like, this sound good. I was like, look, if no one likes this, like real life, and will.i.am will say this, we did it, and he was like, I don't think that's the hit. I was like, you're out of your mind.
So you knew it was the hit.
Well, I was like, look, people like this.
Right.
I like this. This is what I'm listening to at home.
Right.
My cousin sent me a whole Super D mixtape. Like, this is what I'm listening to. If this doesn't do it here, I'm going to Ibiza, and I'm going to make my coins. I live my life.
Right.
And he was like, I don't know, this is the hit. I was like, trust me. Like, whatever.
What did will.i.am have to do with it?
Well, will.i.am produced it.
I never knew that.
will.i.am produced it.
Kat, how old are you? Huh? You're 20 years old?
Wow. She was 10 when American Boy came out, bro.
Fuck that, man.
Come on, Classic.
Yeah, you 20 years old. Jesus Christ, Austin, what the fuck is going on, bro? Like she's 20 years old. You were born in 1998, aka the year I graduated high school,
aka the first year I came to America.
Wow, that's fucking insane. So
crazy.
So will.i.am produced a song, which I never knew, by the way. For some reason, I thought Ye produced that.
Nah, he was. He has such a heavy presence on it. It was like
so will.i.am produces it, and you're telling him that's the hit. Why didn't he think it was the hit?
I mean, we were just all in the room talking shit.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't know, and I was like, trust me, this beat hype, like the bass line, like
you fucking with it. It's in your head right now.
Right.
You
I'm with it. This in the video. This was real life dancing. We was out there like giving. And we was out there, but all me and my friends liked it, and that's what I cared about. You know, so that's kind of my consistent thing. Like, if 50 people in the room, and my people that I give a fuck about like it, 45 you don't like it, cool. It's still hot.
So that drops. Was there ever any? Because you look at things from such a unique and individual standpoint. Was there? Did they say, okay, well that's out, that worked.
Yeah.
Now we want you to be just like everybody else?
No, I had that on my very first deal. But this is the beauty of, like, I would say, of America. You guys will let some shit stand. You'll take an opinion and you'll let it fly. If it flies and we make it money, great. Do what you want to do. You get the shot. Where my deal at home, and the reason I'm here, was I had a great record. We did things on our own terms. First two singles, like 3 singles went top 20, did great. And then they were like, so can you go work with these producers? And I was like, who? These dead off records that no one likes. Why would I go and take? So I didn't have that. But what I did have here was, give us another one, though.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, what? All right. What? How will I magic this?
Right. Did that fuck with you though? Because like with me, like you hear a song like that and it's so perfect for the time. Exactly. It's so perfect. Exactly. Like you have that artist at that time that was killing shit, and his verse on there is crazy. Yeah. So is it hard to try to go in there and purposefully make that next record?
I didn't do it. So they brought me a record and I was like, all right, try it. A song called Fall in Love, which I actually like. Yeah. And we did it with and we did it with Nas, and we did it with John. And people were like, but it's not America. I was like, I told you. I literally was just like my whole team laughed. I sing it at shows because it's a feel good record, and people are like, "This is nice." I'm like, if y'all don't catch up, I'm so tired. But music is good. Music is good music. I'm not ever in control of the perception of it. I just want records I can sing forever. And I've been, and people wonder how I stick around this long and how I'm still making albums, and it's like, because I make music that is classic and that is legacy filled and that changes lives. Like that's been my consistent point. I'm not one of these artists that sings records for the sake of it.
Right.
American Boy was truthful and real.
Right.
I was on a beach in Miami looking at Spanish boys like, holy crap.
Oh, like, what's up?
This is amazing. We don't have these type of men at home. Hi, Cuba. I really was. It's a real thing. Like, I had
and so then you put that in your pen.
I put that on the joint. And that was it.
That's dope.
It's a good time.
So, I mean, I gotta be honest with you. Because of Drake, I gave...
Oh, Lord.
Drake made me give UK hip hop a chance.
Come on, I'm with it.
Maybe like 2 years ago.
I'll take it.
Cause I like the way sometimes shit sounds when people from over there talk. Like when y'all, when y'all.
Why are you having a hard time?
Because
it's just he's having a hard time breaking this down right now.
Because it sounds like when what's the guy Skepta?
Yeah.
When Skepta raps, it's just like Austin knows. It's like right next to Kobe. I'm like, what the fuck? Like I'm like that shit.
That's how we speak.
That shit is ill. I feel like that nigga's a James Bond villain or something like that.
Oh, no,
it's like
far from it.
It's like it seems it's cool. And what's the other guy?
Gigs?
No. Gigs is cool too, but the other guy, man, it's another dude.
Stormzy. Yeah.
Stormzy.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it, but then there are times where they sound like they're not rapping on the beat.
Yeah.
And
slightly off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then like to me that's the same as like when you get like these young ones here that like still have to kind of like figure out their flow, and it's like you have a few more records to practice on before you get that one.
You fuck with grime?
Oh, hell yeah. Like, so I started as a rapper.
Yeah.
People know that. And so
we found that out, though. We found that out after American Boy. Like, I remember somebody sent some shit around on the message board. Like, y'all know Estelle be rapping? I was like, what?
Yeah.
I thought Estelle was like, no, look, this is Estelle right there. And you was sitting there, like, you was and you was like...
I was really going.
You was on the...
Pink sweatsuit?
Yeah, on the pink sweatsuit joint.
Trickster, that was one of my first, like...
And you was... I was like, oh, shit, okay.
You know, then I was like, seriously. So I started as a rapper. So to me, it's like, that's my first love. Like, I came out like...
Cut this out. Estelle, you have lipstick on your teeth.
I did? Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I can't... My mom...
That's right. Thanks for telling me.
My mom once beat me one time.
Were we good?
Yeah, we good. My mom once beat me one time. My mom was talking to a dude, and she had lipstick on her teeth.
And then she said, why did you tell me?
She was like, did you see that? I was like, yeah. And then she took me into the car, and she beat me. So now whenever I see that happen to a lady, why would you tell me that?
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And Mom, why was you trying to impress that man? Yeah, no close-ups. But you're good. So anyway, you were saying?
So she, so my whole thing, like, so I came out in the UK, like, if Skepta and them came out in like 2005, 6.
Oh, for real?
If they did. Like,
okay.
I came out in from like 99 to like 2005.
Oh, shit. So you been doing your thing.
Yeah, we were like the generation right before them. And like at the same time, it was like So Solid and them was out. Like it was a big switch over from like super rapidy raps UK hip hop, I want to say, but no diss. From like Rodney P and Ty and all of those guys, and then it was like mixing at the same time with like Skepta and Grime and Boy Better Know, and all of them guys were coming up. So that whole decade of just everything was just moving around. Now because of So Solid, the Grime side, which was linked to the garage side, kind of moved along quicker than the hip hop side.
Right.
And they kind of still got called UK hip hop.
So Grime is not UK hip hop?
Not technically.
Why? Okay, explain. This is the fuck I'm talking about. Red Pill listeners, open your ears.
All right.
Like, cause even Austin right there.
He's like, what?
Now I thought Grime was UK hip hop.
Well, Grime
this is gonna be a clip. Estelle, explain to us the difference between Grime and UK hip hop.
So there's not a difference more than it's an evolved mixture of garage and hip hop in the UK.
Okay.
So garage is like house music, and they would like MC like reggae dances over sped up techno.
Right.
And different tempos, whatnot, right? And then people started actually making records. So Solid and a bunch of guys, and this is where I kind of took my American Boy influence from. Like that's what the whole mixtape was about. Super D was one of the main DJs, like I don't know, a Clue or whoever. Back then. And So it just evolved itself, and then everyone started to actually rap on real beats, kind of thing, and then but they were still from the same crews, from the garage crews, so they kind of got mixed up. That's where the grime and the hip hop.
And now grime is the thing.
Yes, essentially.
When you heard Drake rapping in a fucking English accent, what did she's coughing now? Because she's coughing now. When you heard Drake wanted to be a top boy. Drake even went over there and signed with some label over there.
He signed up with Boy Band No, didn't he?
Yeah. So
he's endorsed with them. That's dope.
So when you heard that, I'm asking, man,
his whole face. I'm asking about today. His whole face.
But I'm asking just because,
what's my statement on
it's
Drake?
No, I'm just saying, like he goes over there and it's like next to he's doing it, and I'm like,
stop.
I'm not hating. I'm just saying, can you do that? Like, I mean, what did you think? It was kind of. What did you think? Because the album before he was Jamaican, and so I mean that's true.
Van with the flagrance.
The album before he was Jamaican, and then he went London, and then.
And I feel like as an artist, I have two answers to this. As an artist, you're supposed to evolve and do what you do and whatever your chorus. I get that he was Jamaican for 3 minutes.
Galchester.
Because, you know what? I ain't doing this guy today. I am not doing this.
I'm just saying. Okay, so he was Jamaican, and then.
But look, much like the Brits, Canada is a British territory, right?
Sure. Yeah.
British French territory, but there's a lot of like West Indian culture that runs Canada.
Very true, especially in Toronto.
Especially in Toronto, where they're all from, right?
Right.
So in the same way that I did a whole reggae album because that's my core and that's my root too. I understand why he has an affinity with Jamaican culture.
Man, your parents are from there. Like. Yo. I'm not.
Oh God.
Man, you know what? Fuck this, man. You know what? Man, shout out Drake.
Shout out Drake.
Shout out Drake, man. Put that merengue album out next time, dog.
No, but let me say this. I am happy that he did that album way he did it because it opened up a lot of just eyes to the scene and to the great artists that were doing their thing.
I'm fucking around, man. I would have never heard of those guys.
I
would have never heard of those guys. And then he put me on those guys, and I gave it a spin, and it sounds good.
It sounds good. It's hype.
Yeah, it sounds good. Do you think that there's ever going to be a time where, because it seemed like it was happening and now it seems like it's kind of cooling off a little bit? I mean, I'm sure it's still rocking over there, but do you think that the grime will ever really have its time here in America?
I think when we stop referring to it as probably talking about it like grime, like it's something that isn't, that's why people call it hip hop, because it's easier to kind of digest as hip hop versus grime, you know, type of deal. But I feel like it has. What I want to see is them guys come here and tour. Because Stormzy show's no joke. Skepta's show's no joke. Like Giggs' show's no joke. And there are dedicated fans out here that come and see. I want to see them tour and tour extensively because that's the way you win over the US market. Right. There's no four ways. You can come over here and have a record and that's cool and that's nice for a pop artist. But for black artists, you gotta go to every single city. You have to do it. There's no four ways. And I want to see them guys come and do that to a degree. Even if it's like I don't know how they do it, a banner show, you know.
Like a festival deal.
Put Drake do another OVO and have it in the middle of the country and fly all them dudes out. And do it like that.
Did you just hesitate to say the N-word?
I did, because I want.
Why didn't you?
Because I won't. I'm trying to take it out of my vocab.
You're trying to take but you know what's crazy about that? Is one N-word sayer can recognize when another N-word sayer is getting ready to say the N-word.
Hold it back.
She was about to, Cat, what you laughing at? There's an N-word discussion, young white lady, that Austin brought into the past. You don't laugh at, you don't even think, you know what? You thought N-word. You thought about the N-word for a second, Cat. Chill. Austin, you in here telling you, man, well, getting people in trouble. So you're trying to take the N-word out of your vocabulary.
Trying to take my vocabulary.
Y'all say the N-word heavy over there in
now,
Britain?
Yeah, when I first came out here, I never used to.
So they don't say the N-word in London?
Not really, but they do now. No, a while ago, but they do now.
So wait, so they didn't say it when you were growing up?
No, it was a real thing. Like in the same way I feel like it was here. Like it wasn't really the thing you said to say.
Right.
Even I was around I think back when I first started coming out here, people never really said it, especially not in public and not amongst mixed company,
right? Yeah.
type deal around everybody. But like now, it's just like,
They say it all over the place.
Yeah, so you catch yourself and you're like, oh wait, hold up.
Right.
It's not who I am. It's not the way I was raised. So I'm trying to
take it out of your vocabulary.
Yeah, just trying to.
That's good because you
remove it.
hesitated. You almost got it out, but then you stopped.
And then I won't. Like I try not to do it on public platforms as well. Like
Man, I say it,
you know, I know, but I
I get it.
You.
I know. No, listen. Me and Arian Foster had a conversation about this. Shout out to Arian Foster. It's like it's hard for me because some of the people in my life that I love the most used to call me and were like, it's crazy. And like, there's white people in the room right now.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that they're uncomfortable. Y'all know how I am out there. Look, Austin looks like I'm very uncomfortable when you say that word. And you could be more uncomfortable if you said that word. Don't fuck with me, Austin. You feel what I'm saying? I'm just joking. Austin's my dude.
Oh, his whole face was like, you right. You so right. You right.
Estelle, did I ever tell you about, I got to tell you something about Austin real quick. I saw Austin high on drugs in the middle of Hollywood one day.
Really? In the middle? What were you doing in the middle?
I was coming back from, where was I at? I can't remember where I was.
Austin
but I was coming back from somewhere. It's a true story. By the way, Walter Randolph III is in this room. And this is Estelle's manager.
Yeah.
And
he's about to blow
I told him, I was like, yo, isn't that a crazy, like Walter Randolph III? Shouldn't that be like a bank? Yeah, he's like a prince. Like when she told me, she's like, because like people as important as Estelle, there's people that come on this podcast and you just hit them up on a DM and they go, here's my number, come in. Estelle's like, I got somebody you need to talk to. You have to talk to my people before you come on the podcast.
I have a
and by the
schedule.
way, that was months ago. That was literally me and Estelle do this podcast. That was literally like October or something like that.
But look, we're here now.
We're here now. And when I hit Walter Randolph III, I was like, yo, dog, that sounds like a bank or a tailor shop of 5 men's clothes. Did you see this email?
I didn't, but like...
Yeah, like, and he was like, what did you say to me? You said Walter Randolph. I didn't even know it was the third. When he said it was the third, it was crazy. It's out of here. But,
oh, my God. He was drunk in the middle of Hollywood, or high in the middle of Hollywood?
He was high in the middle of Hollywood. I was driving back. I can't remember where I was coming back from, but I'm at the gas station. And I'm getting gas.
Yeah.
And I'm looking, I'm like, yo, man, who is this crackhead that's harassing people in line?
What are you doing? It was you?
He was in the gas station. Who is this dude? And I'm like, yo, is that fucking Austin? Austin is high out of his mind.
Oh, my God.
Like, Austin, how high were you?
What were you, was it weed?
It was weed. Maybe. It seemed like it could have been a PCP high. Angel
dust.
Something
else?
You like to get wet? And so.
Oh, my God. Why are you like this?
And so. I see him, and then Austin's like harassing this little lady's dog and shit like that. But shout out to my nigga, bro. Shout out to my nigga Austin. But so
yeah.
I'm gonna ask you a couple more questions about Britain, because the reason why is I'm obsessed with the experiences of black people everywhere.
Yeah.
Like it's like, because you're African, you're Britain, you're British, you have roots in the West Indies. And for me, there was this prevailing notion, or not a prevailing notion, that black Africans don't like black Americans.
Oh, wait, what?
This is a thing.
I never experienced that.
You've never experienced anything about Africans not liking black Americans? Because I remember I was dating a Nigerian girl back in the day, and there was a name for us that her parents would call us. What? It was like Akata. Have you heard this before?
Yeah.
Right. See? That's a derogatory name. Is this thing about Africans not liking black people true?
It probably has been.
Right.
But look, I come from the place where Africans didn't like West Indians.
That was the beef too?
That was beef in the UK. My mom and dad, that's their whole story.
Like, why was it? What's that about?
It was just a little insular fighting. Like,
okay.
It was just like, well, we found our people and we did our thing here, and them Africans over there doing what they do. And I think it was just probably like the Willie Lynch syndrome to a degree, you know?
Same way it was here, but it exists.
It exists everywhere in wherever black people congregate per se. But like, to me, my mom, like I said, my mom she was genius at keeping us away from that. So the energy with us was like, are they good people? I remember I would say the story one time I went to school and there was this mixed race kid, young lady, and mixed race black and white. And she considered she's black. So us, we all black, right? You brown, we black, right? And my mom had that in our brains from kids. And we would go and be like, oh, she would say stuff and run her mouth. And then my mom was like to us, we came back home one day, like, oh, this girl said this, that. I'm a black this, I'm an African that. Then my mom was like, tell her ask her if what she would do if the Ku Klux Klan was running from, or the NF was chasing us. And I did, and my mom was like, and tell her that, and my mom was like, tell her that if they were chasing us, they chase her too. So she should shut up because she's black.
We all running together.
Right, and so that kind of put me on my like, well, my mom said if the NF was chasing all of us, you have to run too. And that kind of stuck in my brain.
Yeah.
Black is black is black.
Yeah.
You know, and so I try, and I've noticed, and like I said, there's a lot of things that I've taken on since being here that I'm reworking out of myself, or being a real advocate against. Everything from colorism to black versus white, because I have to look at it like I understand it exists, but I can't. My personal micro life cannot be run under under that existence. Even if that's what you're throwing at me, you're telling me that I am, and There's a certain amount of it that I am, but there's also a certain amount of it that I'm not, and I refuse to deal with your version of it, whether you're shooting at me as a white person, a black person, a Chinese person, whoever. You know, because I have too many personal battles with that, you know, and I refuse to do it. You
think that, so you say race is a little bit less kind of harped upon there? Is that probably a slavery thing?
It sure is. It's just you learn to, and it's weird because you realize a lot. I said this just this morning. It is. I'm not trying to contradict myself. I'm just saying there's a lot of things you can choose what to focus on. I said Sex and the City is the whitest show on the planet, and I never realized it.
It's mad fucking white.
Right, and I never realized it. I was just like, well, I like shoes too.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I never thought to myself, well, there's no black people in there that like shoes.
Right.
You know, I was just like, I like shoes too. You know, and it wasn't an aspiration to get the whitest shoes ever. It was just like, I like good shoes.
Right.
You know, and so, but you start realizing that as you get older, there are consistent micro aggressions and pushes and digs and shots being fired at us as black people, and I'm just like, I can't. Can everyone chill the fuck out?
Yeah.
Can everyone stop? I'm gonna be 100 with you, at all times, and I try and run my life that way.
Yeah.
Some people, when I came out, people were like, "You too brown." So I had someone tell me I'm too dark skinned, and once I get to a certain point, it's gonna stop.
What?
No, dead ass a friend. He was brown too.
He said you're too brown skinned.
Yeah.
And once
this is what happens.
And he was trying to warn you about this, or was he just?
No, that was just his experience, and that's fine. It's not mine, no, and it never was. I've been told, look, I was too skinny, too fat, too hood, too not hood enough, and I still had, at the time when I moved here, I still had all my records. I still did my thing. I bought my house. I was living. You know what I'm saying? I hit all these barriers aside from that. So by the time he came and said that to me, I was like, all right.
Fuck, yeah.
All right, that's just your experience, and that's fine for you to have that. I don't hate you.
Yeah.
But I don't have to live by that.
So when someone tells you that, and because it's a double-edged sword, right? When someone says something like that to you. I remember sitting down, I'm a screenwriter, and I remember sitting down with someone a while ago, and we were on set. And I remember I was writing while we were on set, and this lady was sitting next to me, and my writing had nothing to do with this movie. I was a stage manager on the movie. Right. And this lady, she was a very nice lady. I would talk to her every day because I was a stage manager, and the paramedics was sitting right next to me. Yeah. I remember I was writing it. She goes, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm writing a screenplay. She says, oh, you write movies? I'm like, yeah. Well, yeah. It's like, she says, what's your goal? I said, well, my goal is to write films. Yeah. And then to one day direct my movies, be a working director in Hollywood, have big movies, and leave a legacy of creative ideas on the screen that everyone can watch forever. Yeah. And she goes, that's great. She goes, it's not going to happen, but that's great.
Oh, my God.
I just remember thinking to myself, why would you say that to me?
Yeah. And that's the confusion people want you to be under.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm 23. I was thinking to myself, like, what's the purpose of even saying that? Right. And well, I remember running it by my mom, and my mom is like, you're getting to an age now where people think it's their duty to make sure you understand just how hard life is.
Yeah, your place.
Your place. Yeah. How difficult it's going to be. What you're not going to be able to do, and they think that they're doing you
a favor.
A favor.
Yeah. Yeah, because they were done the same favor.
Right.
Right.
They think they're doing you a favor
Yeah.
by telling you what
Trash.
you're not going to be.
All trash.
You know what I mean?
All trash.
Because even if you don't become that, your chase for that might lead you to be something else that you wanted to become.
Exactly.
So when you were told that, why do you feel like people feel the need to say? Why would he? I'm sure he's your guy, but why would he tell you that?
Hey, he's not my friend anymore. It's just completely other reasons, but like he's not my friend anymore. But
Right.
like, and I feel like people serve their purpose.
Sure.
And I think that was probably like the last stance of God testing whether I really wanted to do this or not. With that in the back of my mind, and it was just like I've had to forgive it, but I use it as an example of like, yeah, people could talk, but somebody else told me super early, listen to what they say and not who they are in your life. Listen to the words that come out their mouth, because you take sometimes, and like you said, this lady who you thought may have an opinion, you told her something and she meant something to you in that moment, right? And this person who had this weight in your life told you something and that could have knocked you off your square, but you didn't listen to that. You took it to somebody else who actually means more, and you got a better perspective on it.
Right.
But some people don't have that. You know what I mean? So if someone that had told me like, yo, listen to the words sometimes, don't listen to who they come from, because they dealing with their own stuff.
Yeah.
And they're bitter and they're mad and they're angry and they just don't see it because they've never seen it. I've had the luck of being mentored. Like I got on a mentorship course when I was 17. That's one of the first things she said to me was like, who told you couldn't? Like, who told you can't? Basic things, turn up on time, look at somebody in your eye, be proud of yourself, represent where you're from, and still aspire to be more. Who told you that?
Yeah.
And it wasn't even something I thought about. So from you look at yourself and you have those basic fundamentals about yourself. All that stuff is just want. Cool. Now, the thing I did listen to him on, the thing I did notice was what he actually did and how he moved in the industry.
Right.
And I respected it. And then I stopped. I respected it and I utilized some of it action-wise. And then I was like, okay, now you going over to the dark side. I can no longer. You know what I mean? And so, so you learn. You know, you learn when to cut him off too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was my guy.
Right.
Like, we go to the club, come on.
Yeah.
After that, I was like, it slowly was like a ticking time bomb of like, oh, you have stuff, and you trying to give them to me because you never quite hit your stuff.
Right.
Oh, I don't have anything to do with that.
When you came over here, you worked with the best people.
Yeah.
It's
hard.
It's
hard to see who to like collaborate with this boy.
Yeah, like you worked. It was like a lot of people come over here and they build their thing up. You know what I mean? Their first records is with Bow Wow.
In the gate. First records with Bow Wow.
First records with Bow Wow, and then shout out Bow Wow, and then they move up. But like it's Will.i.am, John Legend,
No games.
Yay,
No games.
all of those people.
Look at it like this. I did all my steps in the UK.
In the UK.
I had a great test run in the UK and Europe. My very first record, 1980. I don't think they thought I wrote it. Me and my sister wrote that. My very second record, I wrote that on my own. A record called Free. Had the entire UK scene in the video. I wrote the script and damn near did it myself with the direct. Ended up doing it with the director, a guy called Andy. And it was a lot of what everyone's doing now. We did that. So I had a great test run. And by the time I actually met John when I was writing my first album, John, and so the relationship had been building. They've been watching me. So by the time I walked up and was like, yo, let's do the second album, and it wasn't as smooth as he found me, and then the record, and then here we are. Yeah. It was definitely 3 years of fighting with the label to let me go. The one in the UK. Yeah. Paperwork was crazy. Right. Spending all my money flying out here, almost going broke. Couldn't pay my mortgage a couple months. You know what I mean? Like real for real, like struggle. While everyone thought I was good. Right. So it was a lot of things that happened just to even get to American Boy. Right. And while American Boy was going, it was even more things happening. Right. So like I did the struggle behind the scenes. It's not to like glorify the struggle, but it was real. Right. And so everything that came after that, man, I deserved it.
I feel you.
I was like, look,
claim it and live it. Yeah.
But also I think it's a testament to good art. Because people wanted to work with someone that I stayed in the studio. I think to a degree now I still do. Like I take breaks now because health and wellness. Right. But like I stayed in the studio. I was like when I go in and I work on a record, now I have to schedule it so I don't spend the entire night messing with it. And now producers are like, she came in, she gonna give you 3 good vocals and leave. because I know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what I'm doing here now.
Right.
But before then, I was like, no, and I'm gonna produce this, and I'm gonna put the bells on that, and you know, like you learn and you get better.
Yeah, you streamline your process.
Exactly. But a lot of the people that I worked with saw that work ethic. This is literally why John's even associated, because I would be out on the road with him, pay my own money, bring my own team, get it done, and I opened up for him on his first European tour in the UK and around Europe, off my own dime and off my own money.
Wow.
Yeah, no games. And he was like, so she's gonna do it anyway, guys. So we'll be involved. So like, I've been independent minded and just working and, you know, getting it done, and I think everyone respected that. Even if the cosign came from John or whatever, they would get in with me, or they would hear the records and be like, no, this is real. This isn't just something that he wrote and said, front this.
All right.
She's in this. You know?
You still have a working relationship with him at all?
Not with John, no.
Right.
No, we split to homeschool like 2012, 13.
Yeah.
It's still love though.
Still love.
Still love.
Was all that label stuff crazy?
It is. It's people don't understand. Every 6 months it shifts, and then it becomes, is it worth signing there? Is it worth staying there? Is it worth moving? And to me, at the time of moving, we had in the like agreement, if in 10 years I don't really want to, we're not helping, or it's not moving, or it's not, and we're just stuck, and I can't do this on my own, then I'll stick around. Or if in 10 years I can't do this on my own, I'll stick around. If in 10 years we're just at a plateau, then I'm going to leave.
Right.
And he was like, bet.
Right.
He said, I don't need to do this for you more than the cosign is needed because of the climate, you know, at the time when I came out.
That was the cosign era.
Like all the 2000s.
Everybody
had a cosign.
Like I
it's
remember
just easier.
having a conversation with my brothers, like the guys that are hot. So when Cole came out, that was a Hove cosign. When Drake came out, that was a Wayne cosign. When Wale came out, shout out to my homeboy Wale.
Right.
That was even a J cosign, I think, because that was right. And so everybody came out.
Rick Ross too.
Rick Ross. Yeah. Everybody that came out, it was all
different cosigns.
Right.
And it just made it easier. Real life, like where you can get the help, take it. You know.
Cuddy, that was Ye.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So and they were great, credible artists co-signing, and I felt extremely grateful that I was one of the women that they said, hey, no, she one of the ones. You know? Because it's changed my life. It's changed a lot of other people's lives. American Boy's out, but there's also Conquer, and there's also Thank You, and there's also 5 albums, and you know. And I have fans, and I've been afforded the opportunity to be a voice actor on Steven Universe, and like just, you know, like things that people, when you look at a female artist, period, we don't get these ups.
Right.
You know, beyond 2 records, I have 5. Like that's a legacy. You know what I mean? And great records that, to me, and my feedback have changed people's lives.
Right.
So I take that, and I want to continue that. You know.
Keep doing it.
Going, yeah.
Are you? So you're not burnt out on music at all?
No.
You love it.
I have like 2 albums more in the vault. No, serious. But like it's expansion now. It's like it's sideways movement too. So it is TV, it is screenwriting, it is music supervision. It is writing my own shows. It is doing animation and building that stuff, and also, of course, my own label with my own artists, Nick and Navy, and like a few other, you know, like just other things to expand so that I don't mogul time. You know, I don't think there's any woman that's done it other than like the Sylvia Rones. And
shout out to Sylvia Rone. What a name right
that's
there,
name, right?
Y'all kids do y'all research on Sylvia Rone.
She's kind of like the label version of, you know, like those ladies have done it in the labels, but forgive me if I'm confusing anyone, but Queen Latifah's another one to me that's mogul status that I look
Flavor
at like,
Unit.
Right. Shaheem and Queen, like amazing. They're like a smooth example of how to do it and evolve and still keep a love for music in it. You know, so there's people that I look up to, and there's people that I want to aspire to, you know, stand alongside. You know?
So, I mean, I have to ask this question.
Oh no!
And because you like Kanye.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
That's that man. That's his business. That's that man's business.
Listen.
That's that man's business.
Listen. Obviously.
Yeah.
People don't, you know.
It was divisive as hell.
But it's not. But I'm gonna be connected to that moment forever, right?
Absolutely.
People, but like.
And thank you for saying what you said.
Appreciate
it. Was absolutely relevant.
But like, you know, the first edition. You know the original.
Yeah.
Like, by this time, we talking about 2007, 2008,
2003.
2003.
Yeah.
So, what am I missing? What are we missing?
Whatever you're missing is what I'm missing. smoothly.
Okay.
I haven't like real life and then not at all dissociating. I see him out when I've seen him out in prior to this. It's 100. It's like, well, how you feeling, pops?
Yeah.
Like you somebody's dad now. Like you good,
Yeah.
and it's good, and it's hugs, and it's keeping it pushing.
There's no reason to have any animus.
No.
Yeah.
But his experience today is different than mine.
Right.
His experience as a black man is different than mine. It's smoothly different than yours. It's smoothly different than everyone's. Everyone expects it to be the same.
Right.
And it's different.
Right.
It's just different. And he's allowed his own opinion.
Right. He is.
I just, the way you voice it though, when you're that much of a public figure, in today's time, cannot be that divisive.
Right.
You by proxy of your physical skin color, you represent a specific thing, whether you like it or not.
You know, one thing that's made me sort of have less actual anger at the situation is that I trust John Legend. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Oh my God.
John
You
Legend.
do.
John Legend is still friends with Kanye West. They're still brothers.
And isn't that an amazing thought process? Because you're like,
he can't be all bad.
that's the point.
You know what I'm
You're
saying?
what?
You know what I'm saying? And
You're also
I'm,
how?
I love, and also,
I'm just not about people being hurt behind this. I'm not about people being hurt behind this or feeling empowered to hurt other people behind this.
Right.
Like the red hat business, especially in light of what's been going on this past few days with the elder being intimidated and kids. It's the wrong direction.
I completely
direction,
agree.
man.
What I really want to do, and it's not that I don't have anger towards, that specific method of thinking, and I don't have anger towards someone who I looked up to doing that, but I want to be able to channel my anger in a way to where it's constructively making people's lives better.
Right.
So rather than yell at people and I would rather work.
How do we figure out? How do we hear your point of view without it being hurtful? How do we hear that? This is the question. And how do you hear this? Sit down, listen to somebody who represents something so vehemently opposite to how you feel, and how do you then take that conversation and make it something positive without get past the anger part?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think that you can make the. I don't think you can make, and I appreciate you interviewing me. I don't think there's any way to take what Donald Trump has represented to America and make it positive.
Right.
I think there's some people would tell you that they voted for Donald Trump or they support Donald Trump for all reasons that are beyond things that have to do with racial or social issues, right? To those people, what I would say is, if there's anyone that promotes a discourse in America that lessens me as a person, their other attributes I can't even begin to hear or entertain.
100%.
So if I'm gonna look around, if George Zimmerman feels emboldened by your guy, if all of these guys love him,
right,
and he refuses to admonish or separate himself from them, if that's who he's dog whistling to, because as black people, it's life and death for us. As LGBT community, it's life and death. And it always is. So I can't get past that.
Right.
But the people who can, I don't want to hate them as much as I want to work for people who are voiceless.
Right.
So I don't want to spend my time hating Kanye West. The people who I would empower with the platform that I got from that interaction, I just want to empower those people.
I would say this my thing is support the things you love.
Yeah.
So I won't retweet the pictures and the videos of the kids jumping around, and I'll retweet the picture of the elder, and I'll promote what he's talking about, and I'll talk about the trans women and men that are dealing with their own issues. This is my what I do on my platform.
Right.
All of the craziness is happening. Who needs that space to talk? I'm gonna retweet you.
Right. Let's get to this work. Let's give these people the opportunities that they need. You know what I mean?
I'm with you 100%. I just it's like you said, it's tiring. Every day, every time you open a Twitter, it's like, boy.
Tough question coming for you.
Oh Lord.
Would you work with Kanye West right now?
Not right now. I think it has to not him. And to what you were saying before, I would say to people, it's not going to be like this always, because history's proven that times pass and they go up and down
Sure.
based on the actions of the people in the moment.
Right.
I believe that the actions of the people in the moment are heading towards it, passing in a way that doesn't ricochet us back, further back, you know? So I think it's going to be good in a minute, in a minute, not to trivialize it.
Right.
I think we're going to be okay.
And I read somewhere on the internet that you have a duets album with R. Kelly coming out. What can we expect?
That's not going to happen. Ever in life, in general.
Look,
I don't know who this guy is. Yeah.
It was like, hey, bro, we're not even playing with that shit,
Wolf's
bro.
eyes peeked up real quick.
He's like, nah, man.
No,
You doing
I had
things?
triggering. I got triggered. Personally, I got triggered. I
as
was
a
like,
woman,
nah.
As a woman, as a black woman,
nah, we good. That, and to me, it's no difference. I'm just articulating it differently because I feel it differently in a different way. R. Kelly. I grew up in a family of sisters, a lot of brothers and sisters, 6 girls, 3 boys. I'm the oldest girl. I'm protective.
Yeah.
And I looked at all these women and I was just like, as many times as I've been in Chicago, we've driven past the studio. There were definitely young girls locked up in there. And in my back of my soul, I literally was sat on my couch like this. I had to get on Talkspace and talk to my therapist like, I just feel triggered right now. I remember
Talkspace by ad.
But I remember emotionally being manipulated as a kid and physically, like, and it's just not, I empathize to a degree with a lot of, without giving all my stuff out, I empathize to a degree with a lot of those women. And to me, it's just like, I'm not in it. Like, you don't prey upon. You don't treat people like that. You don't do that. Like, I understand the love and the empathy, and I do have it, but my personals with it, you have a choice beyond a certain age, sir. And you chose to continue doing that.
Right.
You didn't choose to go get therapy. You didn't choose to figure this out with yourself.
Yeah.
I don't know if forgiveness is in the frame, because I don't have to, per se.
Right,
and it didn't happen to me. I just pray for them. I pray for the women that were involved in this and the parents, and try and refrain from judging all of the stuff around it. Because there's so much stuff. Where are the parents? Where
so much stuff. So much wrong
so
with it.
much. The fundamental lies with your physical action. You, beyond a certain age, you have a choice. And I believe that everyone's presented with a choice to evolve and get better, or stay on the same path and do the same stuff you've been doing. I'm not with that same stuff. I'm with that evolve, do better, be better. Even if it hurts and you have to face yourself and you are absolute shit, still try and do better. And I feel like he chose not to.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have to care.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think I have to.
Got a question for you. Something I always wanted to ask. I think you are I don't think we've had any female musical artists on the show yet. Well, we've had Amanda Seales. Shout out to Seales, but she hasn't been doing music in a while.
Yeah. She got an HBO show coming up.
Oh, whoa! Shout out! Whoa!
She got a show coming up.
Amanda Seales, I be knowing. Shout out to my homegirl who has her first HBO special, Amanda Seales, I be knowing. Kat, you gotta watch it. She's gonna tell you a lot about how she feels about white women. I think you're gonna be delighted.
Van, no cap, Lathan. All right, come on.
I think you're gonna love Amanda's impressions of white women, Kat. You're gonna change.
It's a perspective.
Come back to school. What school you go to? Quinnipiac University. You're gonna go back in a dashiki after you watch Amanda. Now,
I just got the visual of don't be a sucker, Venice in the hood. Like,
yeah.
That whole visual.
You know that.
Yeah.
So male groupies.
Oh, they're fun.
Is this a thing?
Absolutely.
Wow.
What?
Let's talk about it. I'm looking out at William started checking his phone. When the reps
started checking their
phones,
it's a lot of fun.
That's when you know we having a good time on the red pill.
But look, listen, I'm not a partaker per se.
I'm not saying you're not I'm just asking you.
I've entertained the idea of one good time, and then he was too hype, and then his soul, and I was like, you good. You good.
But there are, because this is the thing, because we talk so much about
they just come up different
lady groupies, but we never talk about male groupies.
Right. Have you seen any?
I don't, but see, the male groupies that I see, they're groupies to other males.
Okay.
They're like dudes that's like, I was in the guys that say, like you at a club, like a couple of summers ago, I'm at a club, a big rapper was there, and this dude comes up to me and goes, "Yo, man, so and so wants to meet you, bro. Come up." I'm like, damn, I would hate to be this nigga wants to meet you, dude. I never want to be this nigga wants to meet you, guys.
Oh, God.
And that's not even, because I know it's something this nigga wants to meet you guys that are listening. And if that's your homeboy, and you just, but it, like the dudes that I know in LA that are groupies, they're groupies to other guys. They're like trying to get next to guys so they can post pictures and say, this is my day one, when it's the day one that they met them. I mean, I'm just
day one.
This is my day one when it's the day one that you met them.
Right. Yes. But I've seen.
So male groupies.
Yeah, they exist, man. It's just they come at you in different ways.
How so?
I've had. I mean, I'm a smooth denier of the DMs. I would delete and
you don't
decline the DMs.
Yeah.
I'm a smooth denier of the DMs. In real life, I'm surrounded by men. So like 90% of my team is men. Like 2 women, and it's not by choice. It's more just
the way it
happened.
Yeah.
There's like 3 or 4 women on my team that are like integral.
Right.
And but so they kind of get thrown off a little because they're not sure who's security, who's the manager, who's the boyfriend, who's what.
Yeah.
And I'm not the girl with all her business out on the gram either. Yeah. And I refuse to justify anything. Yeah. So, no one quite knows what's going on, right?
Yeah, I get you.
But they try and, hey I've had the DMs that we have a group chat, me and my guys, my man from home. And like I entertain them weekly. Yeah. With snapshots, like screenshots of the DMs and like what their title is. A lot of them are security.
Oh.
A lot of them will hit like, "Hey, I love you, so beautiful." And then I look at their page just purely because I want to send this to like the group chat, yo. And in today's DMs, it's called in today's DMs.
Yeah.
And I'll send them a picture of the whatever they was trying to kick. Yeah. And then I'll send them this, their title and their bio, and it'd be like, former football player, security. Yeah. I'm just like, if you don't artist security, I'm like, for who? Like there's like 5 artist security in the whole business, bro. Like, and they all have their own groups running out. Like, no, stop, chill out.
What do male groupies want?
I'm not sure. See,
I'm obsessed with the male groupies.
Because I can't even call it bragging rights. Like, I'm not, like, you have to know she ain't giving no pussy. You have to know she's not giving you any pussy, sorry. So I'm not sure what it is.
So there's no groupie suave enough to make you go there with her?
Nah, not really.
Nah.
I'm not a groupie, no.
But see, here's the thing, though. That's another reason why I feel like I'm obsessed with the male groupies, because the female groupie is really in a power position, because if you like to hang around, like
she'll fly wherever,
she'll fly wherever, and these and the way guys are wired sometimes, there's not a lot of, it's like, oh, for you, okay, come on, you come on, you come on, you come on, especially when you're in your 20s,
right? That's life.
It's like that's the way it goes. Yeah. There's an aspect of having sex with groupies that I don't get. I don't get why these guys aren't wearing condoms, man.
That part.
It's like, I'm not going to bring up any names, but y'all out here and y'all having, listen, I'm not even.
It's a lot.
It's why?
There's so many things out there.
But why aren't people, what's wrong with the condom?
I don't know, bro.
They're not wearing condoms. And we know because a lady gets pregnant and she says it could be 5 different guys. So if it's 5 different guys that she thinks that it could be, and this is, by the way, I'm not coming down on these ladies.
No, it's just a discussion.
I'm just saying, if it's 5 different guys, that means all of those guys went raw.
And think about that.
Which is wild.
Think about that in 2019.
When I say wild, I mean, it's wild.
I need the graphics. Wild.
Like seriously, like right. Because if you let's say you got an NBA dude, an actor, a rapper, that's literally like 50 million women that they've slept with.
What did you say? Petri dishes?
Yes.
Petri dishes.
So I don't understand that.
Petri dishes.
So, but do the male groupies, do they try to like romance you though? Because it's probably a little bit more romance.
And then I'm an adult, whole grown ass woman too. So like I'm listening to you talk and I'm like, nice to meet you, bye. I'm not going, okay, bye. Yeah. All right, and like the team keep it moving, keep it circumvent. William,
you've seen the male groupies?
He just went silent.
William, you seen the male groupies?
He
Just
called
give me a
you.
yes or no.
He called you William. He just went quiet real quick. He has.
You
It was
seen
one
the
good
male
time where was we in Cleveland that time?
Cleveland.
We was in Cleveland one good time. That was
Cleveland.
fun.
A male groupie came up to you in
Yeah,
Cleveland?
he definitely.
Was it Tristan Thompson?
No, I don't know.
Tristan Thomas?
No. This is before.
Was it?
This is
Look,
before.
boy, were you making the reps
No,
uncomfortable?
it wasn't.
Tristan Thompson tried to get at.
He did not. Don't say these things.
Next on TMZ.
Don't say these things. Leave that scenario alone. Ain't nothing to do with me. Nah, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. But they find their ways.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's not just at the club or at the bar. It'd be someone that you met via your friend, and all of a sudden you like, oh, you're a singer. Oh no.
Oh yeah.
You rap.
SoundCloud link.
I was on your Instagram. No, we're not.
No, we're not doing that.
We're not
We're not
talking
doing that at all.
anymore, bro. No.
Where's Craig David?
Living his life, represent Wu-Tang in Miami somewhere. Listen, Craig David. Let me tell you.
Listen. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you guys.
Craig David got the plan.
Craig David
is the plan.
Craig David came out, dropped some joints on us,
And
and then
said-
fucking disappeared.
And said
Like,
he's gonna live his life in Miami.
Listen, man, Craig David.
and get swole.
Look, he is huge.
Swole.
And like Craig David, what's that line in that song? He says, bottle of wine, half the content's gone. Every time I hear that line, like I wrote a whole essay called Half the Content's Gone.
Oh God.
Because like
Triggered.
who just says it's just half the content's gone? Could you fill me in? It's
Craig
like
David.
that's way too proper a way to say the bottle is fucking half empty. That's all you had to say.
It's cool language.
Like, I get it.
Language.
But like
English.
he came in and dropped some hits on us.
This is why he's a great songwriter. This is why he is who he is. Because
we miss Craig David,
Craig
man.
David living. He had a new album out, I think, a year and a half ago or a year ago, and he was touring and living his life. Like this is the existence you want as an artist. Like popping when you want, hit it back out when you don't.
Then he's out.
And and living his life like killing. He's the first artist I knew that essentially left the US, left the UK, millions and trillions of records sold, moved to Miami, and got swole.
Got swole.
No, literally, like I was
He's
seeing in
huge.
Miami, like, who is this guy? This is amazing. Just top off, just
Craig David.
right.
Yeah.
I'm old enough now. I'm joking.
But he I want him to come back out, man.
He will. I'm sure he will. But like also, it's like you don't really want them to do it, or try and fit in. I think the last record he done was really good though. The last album.
You know what my dream UK mashup song is?
What?
It's you, Craig David,
Oh shit.
and Mark Morrison.
Not Mark Morrison. Not Mark Morrison.
See, the kids in the room don't
Not
know.
Mark Morrison.
The kids in the room don't know.
The Godfather.
Return of the Mac.
Wait, why do I keep getting
I know
like
y'all. The Return of the Mac.
the Return of the Mac?
Where's he at, man?
What you know?
Because listen, because
Here
every
I
couple of
am.
years there's
That's his favorite record.
Return of the Mac.
Real
That
life.
shit is hot.
Real life.
That shit is hot. You lied to me.
We
I'm
be
telling you,
out.
like that shit is hot.
It's a dope record. It's a classic.
But every couple of years, I'm getting to a point. Every couple of years, there's like an English takeover.
Yep. Every few years.
Every few years, there's like a new crop.
Yeah.
And I feel like you came in with like Amy, and who else was with you?
Me and Amy.
It was just you and Amy.
Me and Amy.
So it was you
Who? I'm
and
trying to
Amy. I don't think there was anybody else.
Let me think.
Because that was Mark Ronson was doing this thing at that point.
Me, Amy. What's her name?
Because Adele is later.
She was later. Sneakers and dresses. Lily Allen.
Lily Allen.
Yeah.
What
Lily
about
Allen.
Josh Stone? Was that before?
That was before.
Yeah.
She was around Marsha Ambrosius.
Yeah.
That whole.
Yeah.
That was like 2003, 4.
Right.
Yeah.
And so like every couple, and then even
Poetry, not Marsha, just Marsha.
even like Robbie Williams like came in, and then like after a while, what do we have? You're here now.
Yeah.
But after a while, like how do these acts, and I'm serious, do these acts just go back to the UK?
No, I think most people. Well, it depends on where your home is, where you find your home. I'm one of one. I can only speak to my experience.
Yeah.
Like I was here. I was signed. Everyone else like, well, how come you're here still? I'm like, I was signed to a U.S. label, and my businesses are all here, so it makes sense.
Right.
But like I've like again after American Boy and after Shine, I've had 3 extra albums. So like, and all of them were out here and released out here and did their thing around the world. So it just made more sense. And I like it. It's fun.
Yeah, thank you. You're touring now? You're about to go on a tour?
I'm about to go on a tour now.
Where are you going?
All over the East Coast. So we're doing these Estelle experiences.
Which is what?
Which is essentially like, I want to say my living room.
Oh, the male groupies coming out.
Well, no, we're calling it the Estelle experience, but it is like a bit more of an intimate performance. It's reggae music and it's lovers rock specifically, which is like reggae and R&B mashed together, which started in the 80s, which is when I was born. And it's kind of, like I said, the story of my parents. Their short version of their story is they got together, had me and my 3 sisters, broke up when I was 3, got back together when I was 23, got married when I was 33.
Oh!
Yeah, short story.
What the shit?
Short story. Short story.
God, dude, run that back again?
So, parents met, 79-ish, had me, 80s, 1980. Broke up when I was 3. We got separated, West Indian, African stuff, things. Got back together when I was 23. My mum had, in between, got married. My dad hadn't. My mum had 5 more kids. So
Damn.
9 of us at this point. Okay. And they got back together when I was 23. And then stayed together because my mom didn't want to get married till I was 33. And then got married when I was 33 because my mom was like, I need to like show my kids that marriage is okay.
Wow.
Pretty much.
That's a true love story.
Yeah, they were going to be together. It didn't make any sense.
And your dad didn't have any other kids?
Yeah, he did.
He did?
Yeah, that was part of the reason they broke up. There was definitely I have a sister, I think that's my age.
Oh,
yeah,
I know.
my dad was out here.
I know what that's
my dad was out here. But like, but look, this is my part where you have exact feelings about things, and then you look at your life and you're like, how can I? Because my scenario is this. I have such empathy, or I have an open point of view about any scenario when it comes to love. There are absolutes that I will and will not do, but I won't judge nobody. However it comes is however it comes.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's work. Love is work. You got to work for it.
Absolutely. But they were going to be together, you know? It's just the way that it happened and the way that my dad popped out of a car and saw my sister in the middle of the street, and that's how they reconnected.
Wow.
Because he looks exactly like her.
That's the way it happens.
Yeah,
so now the music in the tour is based around that.
It's based around that. It's based around the vibe and the feeling of lovers rock and the story and just my whole reawakening and, you know, reformatting of my life as I found out more about the story.
So is it fair to say that American Boy, which you won a Grammy from, was such a big hit that you are rich forever? Still got that American Boy money.
I get residuals forever, I feel like. I feel like, thank you, Lord.
There you go. You want a Grammy, though.
I know. I want some more, though.
You want more Grammys?
Here's a pure artist in me. Here's an egotistical pure artist in me. I want more. I need a few more Grammys.
A few more Grammys.
Yeah.
You know how many people in this business?
I'm an overachiever.
That Nas never won a Grammy.
He don't need one.
I know, man.
He's Nas. He's influenced all of us.
You ever see Nas and be like, "Yo, nigga,
No, I don't.
Yo,
Look,
Nas,
I see Nas.
Illmatic, cool.
No,
look at this.
Never,
What's
never.
up, Nas?
Because be clear about the fact that when I was a child, I was
Snoop Dogg,
like, nah, because I did a record with Snoop Dogg. Nah, like, I've worked with all of the people that I've grown up like around. That means more to me than the fact that they know and respect what I do, because it kind of came from them to a degree. Like, that means a lot. I don't think I'll flex on anybody.
The name of this
I
podcast is going to be Nas Don't Have a Grammy.
You know, no, please don't do that. Please don't do that.
It is. Not by the way, Nas don't need a Grammy. She is 1,000% right.
He don't.
But
He good.
I guarantee you, she's 1,000. Nas is such. Nas's flow, Nas's vocal cords are so touched by God.
Amen.
The only thing he needs is to keep making music. Every time he gifts us with music, that's his Grammy. Nas is amazing. But I tell you what, if Nas was at a table with Estelle, and Estelle for some reason had sent her Grammy off to be serviced, and a Grammy happened to get delivered to her while they were at the table, Nas's eyes would at least water up a little bit.
No,
like Nas's eyes. Like, just say, like, you're at Nas's crib.
Oh my God.
I think Nas is like a nigga that eats croissants. So you at Nas's crib and the croissants come out, the egg whites is coming out. You and Nas is talking about. Let's say you and Nas is talking about like an upcoming collaboration.
Glorious.
And Nas is like, yeah, and you're like, oh. Thank you very much. She's come deliver. Thank you. Thank you, William. Here comes the Grammy. And then it's like, oh, what happened? And you look at him and you go, I sent my Grammy off to be serviced.
That's what I would do.
And you put it right in the middle of the table.
Now
he'll probably try to act like he's not. He's like, yeah, that's cool.
You should do that. Should be a host. You should write that as a skit.
It's very funny.
Like, so serious.
It's more funny
that would
because
be hilarious
you
in real
know
life.
that it's true.
Uh-huh.
You know he would be hurt. I'm gonna make a list of people that haven't won Grammys. And Estelle got in the US. She dropped one song. 3 weeks later, the Grammy Awards came.
3 weeks later?
She like,
it was like
I've been making music forever. You bunch of punk motherfuckers.
Look.
And Estelle, shit on y'all first time out.
Oh, good. Stop it. Look, and I'm not even being politically correct because the awards come and go. I've had 5 albums. Not all of them have been nominated for Grammys. This last one didn't get nominated, and real talk, in the back of my soul, I was tight. And then I had to like release it and be like, "What's for me won't miss me."
Right.
You know, at the end of the day. And I know it sounds super generic, but I really do believe that. Like, when you make something great, whether or not you get the award for it, doesn't change the amount of people that it's affected.
It's true.
It just means that people noticed it. To me, the Grammys, and for the past few years, they're great, but it started to become. Not starting to become, but it's been a symbol of how many people noticed what you did this year. So it just means I got to work hard and make people notice more.
Who do you listen to right now? Last question. Who do you listen to?
Oh my goodness. All right, my favorite right now is I go between, it's like 3 artists that I've been like back and forth with. My artists, because not because I'm here, but my artists, Nick and Navy, are brilliant young ladies. They're so freaking dope. Spotify them. They're amazing.
I will.
Lucky Day.
Don't know who that is.
Lucky Day is a brand new artist out of Cali. He has a song called Roll Some Mo. Fire. And I've been stuck on. Okay, this is hard. It's like,
Soulja Boy.
No, I'm joking.
Okay.
Soulja Boy. No, I'm joking. No, Soulja Boy is a natural comedian and a genius and a
Drake.
Yo, that was the most funnest thing to watch this week.
Love it.
What's the name? Black. I love him.
He's dope.
I was late. No, actually, I was quite early when he did that. I was late. When he did that freestyle, he did a freestyle on Hip Hop Honors. Oh, was it the BET Hip Hop Awards? One of them. And I was like, he's not supposed to be a singer? Like,
I thought he was a singer too.
And then he did that freestyle, and I was like, oh no, this young man's the truth.
Yeah, he could go.
Okay, and then he said, and I must have posted like, yo, he said thrice. And it tickled me because it's an old-time Englishy word.
Yeah, thrice. I know.
And I was like, he said thrice and just skated past it.
Yeah.
And everyone's saying it like, thrice. And I was
right,
like,
exactly.
Thrice?
Like somebody that would say half the content's gone
yeah.
on a record. like I'm listening to a record where someone would say, half the content's gone. I'm like, half the content's gone? What is he talking about?
I just love that you know the record. This makes me so, like, Van's a music head. Like,
I love that song, man.
He said something like, when you left your address, then black address. It's just all the differences.
He's pointing out specific scenarios. He's building a case.
He did. He was.
Half the contents are gone. Bitch, who you been drinking with?
That's
you changed your clothes.
That's the trap version. Do the trap version. You should do the trap version.
What I want is you, Craig David, and Mark Morrison to get on this record.
Oh God, we gotta find Mark Morrison first, and then we gotta find Craig because he's somewhere around the world.
Mark Morrison's probably somewhere breaking the law right now, man. Mark Morrison too G for this game.
He's somewhere breaking the law now.
Mark Morrison too G.
He look like he be out here like
a little bit. And plus, I heard some shit. But like Mark Morrison. Hey, listen, man. Seriously, all jokes aside, I fuck with all UK artists, man. Yeah. I fuck with them. I enjoy the music that's coming from over here. You dropping more stuff for us pretty soon?
I am. I have this album up right now, so we got some more videos and some more songs coming up of it. Lights Out is that, but we have the song out So Easy right now with Luke James.
Oh, Luke James,
which is my favorite singer.
Luke James is amazing.
Like that guy, it's not fair. It's almost not fair.
Yeah.
He stands,
how dope his voice is.
Just him. Yeah. He stands there, and it's like he just stands there, and it's just like.
He just Luke like man.
He just stands there and looks
he's an amazing person.
He is
an artist, man.
He's an artist through. He can sing his behind off. The guy's great, and even making So Easy, that was so like that was such an easy moment. And then 6 years later, we come up, and the first time he sang it with me, this guy had every woman in the room like, bruh.
Yeah.
I was like, so I have to go back and learn how to sing my own song? Yeah, okay. That's what we're doing this week? Cool. Because he
Just kind of, it just comes off. It's effortless, man. Let me tell you something though. I'm very honored that you sat down with us, man. I've been a fan for a very, very long time.
Thank you, darling.
You know what I mean? It's dope to see you doing your thing.
Thank you, darling.
It's dope to meet William Randolph III.
William Randolph III. Walter.
I called him William like several times.
You did. I laughed. It was fun. It's okay. It's totally cool.
Why didn't you correct me before, brother?
Because he's used. So.
Bro, can I tell you something? I gotta call him Willie now. But like, can I tell you something, Walter? Respect to black men, always use their name. The fact that you're the perfect manager type. I know that you're making notes in there about what you want cut out of this interview.
Already.
It's like, you know what I'm saying? I know you're making notes about what you want. Hey, man, see all that Drake shit?
Nah.
Like, let me tell you, cut
cool.
that out. Hey, y'all, we gonna keep fucking with Estelle as long as she fucks with us.
Thank you.
White people in the room, clap for Estelle.
Oh, God. Thank you.
Austin, chill out. Cat, white woman, person responsible for Donald Trump being in the White House. You know, 53% of y'all
your cousins
voted.
It's your cousins.
For your cousins there. Y'all put them in by yourself.
Oh,
feel indicted and guilty, and clap for Estelle real quick.
Clap for your people.
I'm fucking with Cat. Cat is cool as fuck. We out of here. Peace.
Thank you. Oh my God.